We're close to the Game Awards. Wake the dog up.
Around 18 months ago, our very own Jake the Analyst had a crazy idea. As a data scientist, he believed he could predict Game of the Year by gathering thousands of data points over the last decade of winners and using AI methods to predict which game was most likely to win. Last year, Jake's wizardry would correctly guess Elden Ring as the ultimate winner, so he was feeling pretty confident that he could catch lightning twice. To put the pressure on Jake, we decided to give him some competition. So we also pit him against Swag's completely uneducated guess, a prediction from ChatGPT, and a survey from a couple thousand of you, the viewers. As people found Jake's methodology boring last year, we won't be going over that this time, so viewers who care can go annoy him on Twitter or something. We asked viewers 3 simple questions. The first is, which game they thought was going to win Game of the Year? The results were mostly dominated by Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and Spiderman 2. Not exactly unreasonable predictions. The next question was which game viewers wanted to win Game of the Year. The clear change from the first question is that Armored Core 6 was much more heavily favored. This wasn't something Jake could quite understand, until he realized that the question was posed to what is basically a Titanfall fan club, who likes to watch news sometimes. Our final question was who viewers thought was going to be the most accurate when it comes to predicting a winner. Coming off of his W from last year, it seemed as if viewers had the most faith in Jake's wizardry, followed by the audience prediction and then Swag's degenerate opinion. Swag himself was very upset that viewers would collectively have more faith in a professional data scientist with a proven track record over his uneducated guess. However, he was happy to know that nearly no one had any faith in ChatGPT, which was, ironically, just a much more advanced version of what Jake was cobbling together. Our viewers' mistrust seems to be warranted, however, as no matter how hard Jake tried, he couldn't for the life of him get ChatGPT to give him a straight answer. By using our viewer survey to weed out titles which had no hope of winning, Jake would run these games through his goofy algorithm. Much like last year, Jake coded, trained, tested, and yelled at 4 separate AIs that were each unique in their methodology and function. As a reminder, we're not going to talk about methodology too much this year, but viewers should know that Jake's algorithm considered a stupid amount of information. The average length, ESPBR rating, genre, and even whether a game was exclusive to a particular platform were just a handful of data points that Jake had meticulously researched and thrown into the equation. Jake's first challenger was the decision tree algorithm, which had a 76% accuracy without training data. This would ultimately pick Baldur's Gate 3 every single time Jake ran it, with Tears of the Kingdom and Resident Evil 4 being high favorites. Jake's second contender was the naive Bayes classifier, which had a 70% accuracy. This one couldn't decide between Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom, so it chose both in each run. It also had an odd fixation on Starfield, as the only other game it thought had a shot of winning. Jake's third and most accurate champion was the rules-based classifier, coming in at an impressive 78% accuracy. Jake's MVP would pick Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom nearly every run, and then a handful of other games once or twice during our testing. We now get to Jake's problem child, who last year thought that Sonic Frontiers was going to somehow beat Elden Ring for Game of the Year. This year, Jake's creation decided to be just as difficult, by predicting with a 69% accuracy that only Hi-Fi Rush would ever be worthy of the top spot. Instead of worrying if he'd created a furry, Jake is now annoyed that he'd managed to create a hipster with access to Game Pass. By combining all of this data into an ultimate prediction, we see that Baldur's Gate has a 75% chance to win, something Swag predicted without having to use a full degree's worth of knowledge to figure out. This was then followed closely by Tears of the Kingdom at 65%, giving it a pretty good shot at taking the top spot. Behind the 2 frontrunners are Hi-Fi Rush and Resident Evil at 30 and 25% respectively. As long as our timeline stays intact, we fully plan to get this video out before the Game Awards takes place, so viewers watching will likely be able to either marvel at Jake's uncanny ability a second year in a row, or make fun of how a professional data scientist couldn't even guess the year's best game with all of the information in the world. Although Jake didn't know it at the time, he couldn't have made such a prediction without the help from today's sponsor. If we know anything about our audience, it's that the only thing you like more than sharks is pulling off a gnarly floater before tube riding the curl into the sunset. Lucky for us, Surfshark is combining our 2 favorite things. So not only do you feel safe at the beach, but also when you're surfing online. So like, we all know Surfshark VPN is your wingman for keeping your deets on the down low, right? But here's the rad part. It's also got this gnarly, clean web feature that's like a shield against ads, trackers, malware, and anything fishy. That's fishy with a PH, by the way. For all you pun lovers out there, we all know that VPNs can make it easier for you globetrotters and wave knockers to appear anywhere in the world at the push of a button. But not only does it make it wicked easy to protect your privacy, but you get access to region-locked content not even available on your shores. We're not gonna let the man tell you what you can and can't watch. And to make a good time even sweeter, Surfshark is currently running a holiday deal. So just drop in the code on screen and you'll be scoring up to 6 months on the house. And here's the scoop. If you're not totally stoked with it, no sweat. You can bail in the first 30 days for any reason at all, and they'll give you a full refund. No questions asked. Surfshark VPN. We're taking it literally now.